Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mojit Paul, and I am the Junior Vice Chair over here at GFG VIT Bhopal Student Chapter.
Hello everyone, I am Anshra Izada and I'm the junior chairperson here at Geeks for Geeks VID Bhopal student chapter.
And we welcome you to Geek Gala 2022.
Now today we have lined up for you an amazing session called Metaverse 101 and we hope you enjoy it.
The metaverse is a bizarre place that has absolutely stupendous stuff going on. From a Tamilian couple getting married in the metaverse with an outrageous Harry Potter theme to
To a Turkish rancher fitting cows with VR headsets, deluding them of being in green pastures, leading to them being elated and producing more milk. Well, while it sounds like the plot of The Matrix, it's actually working.
these are untested waters where anyone can go as far as their imagination takes them. To guide us on our journey in this new world filled with possibilities, we welcome Mr. Francesco Vincenti from Somnium Space, one of the biggest metaverse companies in the world, situated in Prague.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having me today, really. And I love the enthusiasm about this, definitely this bizarre metaverse.
Francesco, of course, we are excited to have you here today. But before we dig into the conversation about the metaverse, how it's progressed, where it's headed, we would like to know more about what sparked your interest into the field and your work at Somnium Space.
For sure. So I have to say that it's been very a quick year about this because I just jumped into the NFT world about 1 year ago. And it was at the beginning of 2021. And I think it was the interest of being more financial educated. And more and more I was being into financial educated and more I discovered the crypto. And one day I just discovered NFTs and say, oh, wow. I always work with technology because I would say always work with wearable technology. I always work in digital. And actually, I was living in Italy, where it's a place where there isn't so much digital. So I saw this opportunity of connecting all together these things thanks to NFTs. So I started a podcast that for me was the best way to start. So I appreciate what are you doing today right now because that's definitely the best way to learning from people that are already in the industry. And more and more the podcast was going on and I was doing even NFT exhibition. And at one point I realized what was this metaverse. And again, I love platforms. I love when things come together because it keep me focused in bringing all my interests together. And I see the metaverse as the house of the NFTs, the home of the NFTs. So music, art, culture, video, 3D, anything that was interesting into the NFTs, it was coming together all in the same place. And I say, all right, so that's where we are going. We are building this new kind of social media where we own our digital items. And how is this social media made? And this is how I started to envision this 3D collective space, virtual space, because some space we'll talk about later. It's a virtual world, so it's accessible through virtual reality. That is definitely for me the next hardware, let's say, to join the metaverse. So putting all of these things together and adding on top of it an amazing layer of gaming and gamification, because I really believe we live in the video game era. Yeah, this is why I joined the metaverse, because why not?
That is a really inspiring story, and I'm sure I would like everyone to know that Mr. Francesco here is just 24 and he's accomplished so much, so much. So, it's a very inspiring story. I'm sure you've implored a lot of minds here today. So, now that introductions are over, let's get started with our event. So, first off, I would like to ask you a very basic question. What is your favorite application of the metaverse and why so?
Definitely. So it's really hard to pick one. I will pick not just an application, but I mean the meaning, the vision of why is the metaverse is important right now. Out there are billions of creators. We definitely live into the creator economy, and I always say that out there are the average American male person is spending like 4 hours per day on social media, and it's not paid by that. Think about it's a part-time job, right? So we are living in, definitely in this amazing era of communication where we have the opportunity of working around with all these social media that we have right now. But these social media, for me, they have an intrinsic problem that is there is too much advertising, there is centralized, and there isn't more for creators. There isn't really a job. Just few of the creators can do it. So really, for me, the most interesting thing inside the metaverse is democratizing this access to the resources that can help any creators to monetize. Because we definitely live in a era in which we are not switching our interest from physical to digital goods, but we are definitely considering the same importance of some physical goods are digital goods because we've got our status, we've got our avatars. So there are different applications in the metaverse definitely right now. I can talk about gaming, I can talk about art and all of this, but let's think before about having an identity, especially in 3D in this virtual space for people that don't even have access to internet right now. They don't have access to the same resources. So I believe that for people that are not lucky enough to live in huge capitals or something like that, this is the way for onboarding them into these tools because I can finally have an immersive experience. And as always, Arthur, the CEO of Somnium Space, said, I can be on the other side of the monitor, so I can really enter in this virtual space like Ready Player One, the film that a lot of us watch definitely. So yeah, that's the greater economy is definitely for me what is important in the metaverse.
All right. I mean, so you were talking about games, right? And when I think about the metaverse personally, I do think a lot about games. So one of the, I mean, an earlier mention of a certain game that could correlate with the metaverse for me is Minecraft. A rather recent one would be this game called Roblox that I only know about because my brother plays it a lot. So I mean, in your opinion, how do you think games sort of acclimatize new generations to the metaverse, or do they at all?
No, I grew up with the conception that gaming was bad, right? My parents were saying stop playing video games. I think anyone is having it something like that. But why? Why? I never understand this. I mean, playing. I learned so much from gaming. I really believe that even the future of education is gamified because when people are at school and they can learn while having fun. This is why I think this is there is an amazing book that I suggest anyone to read. It's called The Theory of Fun, and it's explaining why we play games because it's fun after especially all these 2 years of pandemic or where is it, do we want to have fun? But what if we can really monetize these fun experiences? What if we can make them our job, not just by streaming to someone else? And this is why when we talk about gaming, I really believe that what is changing this world is play to earn dynamics. So again, I mean, I don't just want to talk about money. It's not money, of course, all the issue. But if we can mix gaming, for example, at 15, I stopped playing games and I said, okay, I will. This is taking too much out of my life. I will start playing game again when it will be my job. This is why I'm super happy that I'm working in a company that it's also a gaming company. Because of course, when you build a virtual world with your lighting avatars and all this amazing experience around you, it really feels like a game. But the important part is that you can own part of this game and you can apply all the game dynamics of it to your life. And let's be honest, I'm sure I'm not the only one that sometimes is doesn't understand if I'm living real life or if my life is a video game. Sometimes I really think about it. Like I always see this level up every day in my life. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel the reward of your life every day?
I'm sure we all feel it. It's some sort of, like a radical existential crisis we are all going through. What's real and what's not. So, so let's talk about all these gaming companies that are going on, metaverse gaming companies. So a big company like Meta introduced the metaverse on a grand scale and brought it further into the spotlight back in October. Many companies benefited from it as well as suffered losses. This kind of monopoly is bound to happen in the future due to the nature and uniqueness of the metaverse as a concept. So, what do you think is the possible start of a monopoly in a decentralized space, and how will it affect new players in the same field?
So I believe that there will be monopolies like we had today, but they won't be the only option. That's the point. Like for example, in Somnium space, we are creating a decentralized and open option for this. So I'm not saying that like companies like Meta and all the monopolies that we have right now, they're gonna disappear tomorrow. Even because it's I think it's a mistake to think that we can decentralize everything. It's not true. We have before decentralizing anything, we have to decentralize something. So it's important for me that we have options that are different, not just from names to names. So TikTok and Instagram, because okay, like they're different, but they're also very similar, and we are sure that they are copying features one from each other, and they are centralized. There is definitely a monopoly. So I believe that a range of people, people, let's say that don't want to understand crypto, they don't care about monetization, they are not creators. So people that use social media to, let's say, to learn, not to create, to spend their time. I think they definitely are gonna prefer some kind of free platform, like that. That it's, I mean, not that the other platforms are not free, but some free platform without all the monetization system around that, of course, is it's also a matter of user experience and user interaction. And I'm not sure anyone just want to do it. But there are other people from crypto world, and there are more than 100 million people already. And we know that in the next 5 years, there are going to be probably 1 billion people onboarded into this crypto that really will look around and say, okay, am I creators? What is this best place for me to work, best place for me to create? And that's going to be other open metaverses, definitely. So yeah, that's my point about it. We're going to have both. We're just going to have them for different use cases.
All right. So okay, so if we look at the timeline, or if we look at the series of events, blockchain sort of appeared much later in the picture as compared to the metaverse. And also, when we talk about the use of smart contracts, that was sort of, that was popularized much after blockchain sort of came in. So first question is, where do these concepts actually integrate into the functioning of a metaverse? Like blockchain and smart contracts, where do these integrate in the functioning of the metaverse? And do you think later down the road, every organization will begin sort of creating its own metaverse like it does a website these days?
I mean, for me, definitely, you cannot have a metaverse without the blockchain. I mean, at least for all the economic dynamics out there, it's definitely made much better when you own things. And if you want to be sure that users and the community is owning their assets in a decentralized way, that's why you should definitely implement blockchain in your metaverse. About your question, if any company is gonna create its metaverse, hmm, I mean, yeah, and you put the parallel, or a website. I'm not sure that any company is gonna create their own metaverse as any company is creating their website, but I'm sure that companies can definitely enable interoperability for bringing their things from one place to another, from one metaverse to another. So uh, the problem with uh, websites right now today is that they are dislocated, right? They are in the same places, okay, that is Google, but they are dislocated. I think that what is happening into the metaverse, and I really have to say that, like for example, Ethereum, it's called the Lego of the internet, right? It's this dynamic of plug and play. So you don't necessarily have to build your metaverse, because it's just even also super hard to build, but you can spend sometimes here, sometimes there, based on what you want to do. You can create experiences in one place into another. So I I believe that like big tech companies right now, they want to join this metaverse rush, let's say, and they're gonna create some of them. But we need to create different technologies to arrive there, and I'm not sure we're still not there yet. Like to have all these kind of technologies. There are different ways of seeing the metaverse. Let's see which one is gonna which ones are gonna be there. I'm not interested about one prevailing on the other. I just believe that again, this is just an evolution of the internet, and don't rush in copying one to each other. Let's try to make different things and let them work together. So it's more about the mindset of being open to a market from which different companies can benefit one from each other, instead of fighting a war that doesn't need to be made. I really believe that we don't have to think about creating our own metaverse, but we have to think why. What is that we are doing? Is it just that we are creating hype around? It's just that we are making a marketing that we are talking about the metaverse, or which kind of problems are we solving? Are we solving the problem of ownership, of poverty, of privacy, and all the other problems that we have right now? Because we just have to create new solutions and just evolve in the good direction for anyone.
So that sounds like a very that's a very ideal approach towards how metaverse should be. You know, a holistic experience for everyone that actually solves problems. But don't you think once again the monopoly thing comes into effect where corporate companies come in, you know, like present their own thing. They'd rather, you know, focus more on, you know, making the money out of the metaverse rather than actually, you know, like, so, you know, again, the monopoly, you know, like it abuses its power. So what do you think about that? Do you think that ideal approach is, you know, like feasible?
That I think that metaverse is for creators. It's not. It's for creators first and for brands seconds. We created over the last 20 years a system that is not benefiting creators, but is benefiting more brands that are monetizing out of creators. If we can invert this model, we also create a system that doesn't need a centralized authority to create all of this. Like, we have to. I'm sure that monopolies will be out there, but monopolies also are changing.
Right.
So that's the point. But we try, and I know amazing people that are trying every day to mix philosophy, technology, decentralization, scalability, and security to create the best system out there that can definitely create more opportunities. I mean, if we're talking about perfection, this perfection never exists and will never exist, probably. We don't know. But I just want diversity of companies accessing to it, because it's not a monopoly if hundreds or thousands of companies are working in managing, let's say, this metaverse. It's a monopoly if one company is managing this metaverse.
Right. Right. Of course. So, one question I have for you is that the pandemic has been a major bane on all of us in the last 2 years, while we are still recovering from it. But for every brain, there is a boon. We realize the need of being remotely connected to the outside world. This posed as a diabolical problem, and the most bizarre yet efficient answer was the metaverse. So, do you think it's the pandemic that gave the metaverse its final and necessary push, or was it all just a coincidence with COVID being a small milestone in the metaverse's future?
It's definitely not a coincidence, because people wake up in the pandemic about finance. I think how how we definitely have been controlled by numbers, and people wanted to control these numbers for them. So the first awareness was, okay, I have to manage my own stuff. I don't trust more anyone to manage nothing that is my money, my assets, or where is it. And I think that we just created new financial instruments, but I can assure you that the concept of metaverse was existing even before the pandemic. For example, Somnium Space, the company I'm working in, has been founded in 2017. So the concept of a collective and open space, it was definitely there. The pandemic for me was the fourth industrial revolution, in which we had an advancement through all the digital tools. So, I mean, all the people like me that were already allowed into digital, they were looking for something new. And that something new was the metaverse. But while all the people that weren't aware of the digital possibilities, just that they just joined, let's say, the Web 2.0, that we were living before. But I definitely joined the Web 3.0. So it's not a coincidence. It's everything is happening together on this large scale.
All right. So, I mean, that was a very interesting view, actually. So now that we've asked you a bunch of questions, we would like to know what's your, favorite or maybe something interesting that you found. It could be events or developments in Web3 as a whole or in Metaverse. Something quirky, something interesting, or something that sort of kindled your, curiosity. Was there anything? Were there any events like that?
Sure. So I believe, as I said before, and this is why I wanted to join Somnium Space. I believe in a virtual space of really immersive experiences. And what I mean by immersive experiences, I mean, for example, in Somnium, we invested and partnered with Tesla Suite. Tesla Suite is a company building haptic technology. So it's a full body skin suite that is enabled to basically check any possible biodata from your bodies, creating incredible technology for strength, for monitoring everything that you're doing. And for example, is as an already feature that we enabled inside Somnium, that it allows you to feel the touch into a virtual world. It means that if I'm touching you, even if we are one in Canada and one in India, we are touching each other. I can feel I can feel it on me. And like if we are playing a video game, like a shooting game, and I'm shooting you, I will feel it. So definitely for me, everything that is at the intersection of gaming, wearables, and blockchain is where I want to see. I believe that the next step of humanity, and we are already here, it's with wearable technologies, technologies that we can wear, technologies that can be part of us, that can enhance uh, our let's see our creativity or wherever is it. I mean our skills, wherever is it. So definitely for me, that's the point we are reaching. We're gonna have lighter headset, lighter technologies, more functional. Think about the power of a PC, right? That we had just when we are at home. That's not fair. I mean, it's better if we can make the work that we make into this PC right now, even if we are not at home. I'm tired of being seated on a chair while I'm at the PC, and I believe that we can mix movement, dynamic with technology. And this is where wearable technology comes in. It can be helmets, it can be a really smartwatch like we have, it can be a full body skin suit, it can be t-shirts, it can be extensions of it. One day it will be brain technology, definitely. We know that is already out there. So that's 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 where the metaverse is coming in. Definitely, in the middle of all this evolution of human-machine interaction technology, that this is for me the metaverse, not anything else really.
Right. So, as you talked about, wearable technology. So, I guess everyone over here knows that, Elon Musk is developing Neuralink, which links to your brain. He's tested it on pigs. He's going to human trials now. So, like, to some extent, of course, people would have, their suspicions about how safe it is, right? Because it's directly linked to your brain. It is the most vulnerable part. If that goes, anything can go. So, tech can be hacked. There's no tech that can't be hacked, right? So, what do you think about the security of those issues? And do you think we are hurdling too much, too much too fast? We are learning to run before we can walk. Do you think that's the case?
I'm not I'm not the brain expert, but I like what you said about we run before we walk, and I think that is already happened, right? People are completely crazy in dopamine about social media. Why? Because no one ever taught us how to do it. No one ever taught us how to use these powerful machines that from one day to another we put in the hands of 10 years old kids. So definitely, this is why we don't have to demonize technology, but we
Mm.
have to accept them from the beginning and educate. Education is always the base layer of society. If for 20 years you demonize technology, then as soon as this kid run out of school, trust me, he wants to use this technology more than anything, and he's
Mm.
gonna use it against you and against himself or herself. So we cannot escape from technology because it's here. We just have to learn to make it productive things, and
Mm.
making selfies is not a productive things for me. So we have to learn what there is more than a selfie out there, what there is that we can do with this technology, how can this enhance, not just entertaining us, but believe that we are in a world that is a mix of education and entertainment, and I call it edutainment. So, and here again, we come back to the beginning of what you're saying, gamification of life and education. If we create an edutainment environment, we can learn to use all this technology for the goods of other people around us and not against us.
All right. So you talked about education and exposure, right? And with say Web 2, we saw this new term pop up called netiquettes. That is your etiquette on the internet. So if you were to talk to say a child in grade 6, how would you explain a responsible sort of behavior or a responsible way to use the metaverse?
Definitely. I will definitely start by teaching him which kind of creative jobs he can do it by this, because we are in lack of creative jobs. We're in lack of repetition. So I will definitely start telling him from day one, hey, this is a powerful object, okay? I will guide you into the things that you can do it from here. You will experience it from, I don't know, for 1 hour per day. You will tell me, I like this, I like that, and I will provide you the courses to learn your favorite skill. And I mean, a 6 years old doesn't know about his favorite skill, but he can learn what is his favorite skill. So I will definitely, let's say, cut some of the social media dynamics that we have right now, and I will teach him to use social media not for being a good person in front of others, but for be a good person for him or her, wherever is it, and then be something good for others. Because I'm afraid that a lot of us are using our digital identities for be a better person in front of the others. So do it for yourself, do it for wherever you want to do. I know you like this technology because I have two nephews and they tried the VR and they went crazy. Definitely, it was amazing. They was super funny, but after 1 hour, I said, okay, it's a good game. It's amazing. It's beautiful. What is that you want to do? Do you want to make a draw of it? Do you have some ideas around it? So always stimulate creativity. Don't let our next generation be a passive generation using social media, but be an active generation of it. Use this technology to create, and we are going to make the easiest possible toolkit for these people to create. Use this technology to enhance, and of course, be aware that this can be your future jobs. So just create, create, create. Creativity, it's the most important thing for me for children.
Right, right.
All right.
So, Francesco, you said you wanted to share something with us at the beginning of the presentation. Would you like to go ahead with it?
Sure. So I wanted to make this presentation from VR today, but I will show you our web version of Somnium Space. So just a quick intro about Somnium. Somnium is a virtual world based on the blockchain, on different blockchains. So we built this virtual reality world accessible through VR, in which there are Solana, Ethereum, and other blockchains, let's say, all in the same place. And you
Mhm.
can actually wear a virtual avatar on Solana while you're driving a car on Ethereum, and you can instantly monetize your experiences inside this world, in which you can experience, work, game, play whatever you want. And we have different ways to access Somnium. One is VR. One is 2D client from PC that you can download from the website, and one, the easiest one to access, is definitely Somnium Space Web. So I wanted to show you around some of the things of Somnium Space and how you can interact with them, because it's definitely fun experience that can already show you something. So I'm gonna share my screen right now, and I'm pretty sure that you can watch my screen. So this is Somnium Space Web, and this is my avatar. I think it's similar to me in some way with this long hair. And this is a parcel. So this parcel here, this piece of land, it's an NFT, right? It's something that some user is owning in his wallet, and he can build on top of this parcel in whichever way he wants. He can build like this. He can build art gallery. It can be venues. It can be wherever is it. This is Somnium Web. So around you here, you don't see the other parcels. You don't see other lands. But if you're in VR, you're gonna see an entire world of other user-generated content around here, and you can just click visit popular parcel from here to go into other parcels. So this is, for example, the land of MoCA, Museum of Crypto Art, the most famous museum, let's say, for crypto. And they bought this piece of land, and they bought different NFTs that they're collecting on this parcel. And this is actual NFT. If I click, you will see that there is last sale price, 8 Ethereum, who is owning, who created this NFT, and you can also open in browser, as you see here, and you're gonna go inside this OpenSea page where everything is connecting, and of course you know OpenSea, so you will have here the proof of this NFT. And yeah, you can explore, you can make different things inside here, you can use it as a virtual places to collect everything you want to collect. You can organize events. We make events with where is it, art, music. We make creators fund events, and I'm gonna share with you in 1 second what is this creators fund, and you can definitely interact with this, and you can support a lot of people in the same place. So imagine this as the first step for you to jump into a metaverse and then join also the VR experience. There are a lot of things that you can do on this Somnium space, and one of these is fun here that is definitely the hologram mode. So you see that you can place yourself inside the screen. That's super funny for making presentation, podcast, or where is it? Or you can just, for example, display your camera like this on your face, on your avatar. These avatars that you can place here, they are NFTs themselves. They are created by creators here, definitely, and they are sold for average, I would say, one hit, and they are part of your identity. We are integrated with Ready Player Me, as you can see from here, from custom avatar. So I made this avatar to Ready Player Me, this company that we partner and invest in, and you can just select the avatar that you created, and it's gonna change here. So I'm creating this one. Then, if you want to mint and create your avatars, I'm sure that you can do it definitely. For any 3D objects that you want to bring, you can place it here inside Somnium. We have an SDK that is allow you to bring any 3D asset inside the space, and soon through our marketplace economy, you're gonna be ready to mint it. Oh, there is someone else here. I don't know, maybe it's someone of you. But you will be able to mint any objects as an NFT and make it part of the economy. So you can really own anything. You want to own these stairs here, you want to own the walls, the objects, wherever is it, you can place it here. So that's the place where you can create 3D experiences in all the way. Then this is Somnium Web, and I wanted to share with you also one thing about the Creators Fund that I mentioned. So this is the Creators Fund that we had in Somnium. What is it? This is your way to work in Somnium, and this is what I was saying before about monetization. So We invest in creators. We have more than $1 million for this year in partner with AdMix, Gemini, Polygon, Jesser, Mocha, and all the others that you see here to invest in Somnium creators and external startups. So, are you an event manager? Are you a 3D creator, an artist, a game developer, a blockchain developer, or wherever is it? We have all the roles. You can apply for this creators fund, and I sent the link to the organizers that will definitely share it with you. And every 2 months we have a one night session in which you can meet all those investors, all Somnium investors, and you can create your project inside Somnium and you are paid for it. This is the creators economy we believe in. So pushing creators in building and giving them the opportunities, because there are already people that they stopped working in real life to work full time in the metaverse. So we are here to provide this opportunity for whoever wants. And if you want to know more about Somnium, I really suggest you to watch this video, Somnium Space Connect. This is a video that we made in 2 months ago with all our partners about wearable technology, hardware, because we are also building our headset and a lot of other news that you will find in this 6 hour video here, Somnium Space Connect 2021. And if you want to join the team of Somnium, I will stop sharing right now. If you want to join the team of Somnium, I know there are students here or whoever you are. You know that we are always ready to work with passionate and motivated people that want to build this metaverse with us. We have different roles: VR developers, sound developers, blockchain developers, wherever is it, game developers, whatever is it your passion, please reach out to me, reach out to us. There are different ways we can definitely do things together and build the metaverse together.
All right. So that was actually an amazing presentation. I mean, of course, we're gonna put the links in the chat to Somnium Connect 2021 and sort of links to help people to reach out to you regarding, if they need more information about Somnium Space or if they want to possibly collaborate or contribute to Somnium Space. The stock has been really, really good. I mean, we answered a lot of questions that a lot of us were having, and hopefully we've kindled people's minds.
I have one question before you go. The character you used, your avatar, was it inspired from Dune? Because it looked a lot.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
there is an extension in Ready Player Me that you can connect characters from films and other stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely like the all black suit and I created it.
No, that's a really cool avatar. Great. So I guess that's all for now. Francesco, would you like to say anything before we leave?
I want to say for any students, anyone that is connecting there, believe in what you're doing and do it anyway, because there are so many opportunities out there that it's up to us to create new jobs opportunities. Do whatever you love. That's everything that I want to do. If you do whatever you love, you will help yourself and the people around you in using all these toolkits that the world is providing to create whatever you want. That's my only piece of advice, really. And reach out to me if you want to be helped. No more. I'm here for this.
Great. So, thank you for coming, Francesco. We're really glad that we had you here. So, guys, we'll be putting the links as to Francesco's LinkedIn, Twitter. We'll share that with you on our page. And yeah, just our next event is at 6 o'clock, I think, the Metaverse Designing Competition. Do check that out. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming, and that's all for now.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
See you.